Hello there, my name is Nicholas Bird, and today we're going to be talking about something that we don't think about too much in our day-to-day hearing culture. We're talking about captions, those small words that come up on screens, and how those words make a world of difference. So let's talk about something that I like to call the 5 stages of social griefing. It's another take on the Kubler-Ross stages of grief, and I found that they fit just really nicely into our topic. So most people are pretty familiar with the Kubler-Ross stages, so I won't go into too much detail about them here, but if you want more information, I do have a link down below. Feel free to check that out. There's lots of interesting stuff on their page. So deaf folks have been excluded historically from hearing society, and this is really where the grief comes in. Day in and day out, they have to go further for us who hear, and we only seem to demand more. And nowhere is this exclusion more clear than in our media. So for much of the hearing community, I can say that captions aren't really something that we think too much about. We tend to think that captions simply aren't that important. No one is really being excluded from anything. We live in a state of denial. Now, of course, the best way to combat denial is to be informed. So one of the main groups that captioning does affect is the deaf. All right, but don't worry. A lack of captions available in mainstream media isn't just harming the deaf. It also harms, for example, those who have some but not total hearing loss, which includes about 20% of Americans, those learning English as a second language, those who have certain mental illnesses such as ADHD, which can make them miss certain bits of key information. And we can look at those that this might help, that captions might help. The deaf, for example, and everybody else I mentioned above. Kids and adults who are learning to read, anyone who would like to be better at multitasking, anyone who doesn't like missing out on jokes. Sounds pretty nice, huh? But we live in the 21st century. We've got to have a device or two that can help people hear without having me be distracted by those stupid words on the screen. Well, okay, we do have a few devices. As for theaters, we have 3 options. We have closed caption glasses, closed caption stands, and caption showings. So closed caption glasses and closed caption stands exist in about the same category. They work technically. They both are supposed to make captions appear for the viewer and for nobody else, but this is pretty poorly implemented. The designs for the systems are outdated at best and completely non-functioning at worst. They are often left uncharged by theaters, rarely display the text in sync with the movie itself, and can on occasion just completely stop working. So caption showings, on the other hand, are when the captions are actually added to the big screen itself. They are by far the best option for any deaf person trying to see a movie. Even they have a fatal flaw. They're a bit like leprechauns. It would be awesome to find one in its pot of gold, but good luck trying to locate it. All around, these devices aren't very good at the accommodation that they claim. Navigating the theater can be frustrating and exhaustive to the average deaf viewer. I think that the anger is justified. Alright, okay, so who even goes to theaters anymore anyway? I find all my content online, and plus I know that YouTube has captions on it. I've seen the little button myself. Okay, let's unpack that a little bit. So, online media is a great tool for everyone, and that is definitely including any and all deafies. But these too could benefit from captioning, or more accurately, they could benefit from better captioning. So YouTube has this little invention called auto-captioning. You likely know of it in some way. In fact, it's kind of become something of a big joke, even in the hearing world. Do a search on YouTube for auto-captions or even just captions, and it pulls up all sorts of videos on reactions to how utterly atrocious these things are. Manual captioning, on the other hand, it's definitely the way to go. It's really easy to include people with this, and it takes minimal extra effort on the part of the creator. For goodness sake, it's even marketable. I mean, social media creators know that this pulls in a bigger audience for them. It makes them money, and at a bargain price. Even proofreading auto-captioning just goes a long way. Looking them over for simple mistakes and correcting them isn't difficult, and viewers love when their content makers are looking out for them. This is what it feels like. A state of confusion, isolation, frustration. It's not easy being a stranger In fact, sometimes it's downright depressing. While deaf folks are closer to being accepted than they ever have been before, there's still much to be desired. Unfortunately, deafness is still often seen as a disability by much of the hearing world. The culturally deaf have never seen it this way, instead recognizing that nothing more than a language or culture barrier needs crossing. The movie Deadpool has a speech given by one of the characters, in which the titular anti-hero Deadpool is told by his foil, Colossus, that being a hero isn't something that you do all the time. You don't wake up a hero or brush your teeth as one. Instead, heroes are defined by only 4 or 5 moments in their lifetime. They make a sacrifice, conquer a flaw, save a friend. That's all it takes to be a hero. Now, granted, I'm not saying that Deadpool is really a great role model here, but my point is unwavered. I think that we've come across one such moment. We have prided ourselves on our progressiveness, our forward thinking, even our love towards one another. We are now offered a choice. We would sacrifice a very minimal amount of convenience for ourselves in order to provide lasting inclusion for a group of people that is so commonly forgot about. I, for one, find that a small price to pay for acceptance. Thank you.